In this video, I'm gonna provide you with some tactics to get more comfortable and possibly deeper in your passive middle split. So passive middle splits, or passive in any kind of stretch, is where we try to minimize or completely avoid any kind of muscle tension. Right? So just being able to relax down into the position. These different tactics you're going to be able to combine in different ways. They might not all work equally well for you, but I highly recommend experimenting a little bit with them, both each individually and also combining them. And there's a good chance that you'll find that there's a certain combination that works really well for you at a certain point of time. So I highly recommend experimenting with these. Right? Also, for all of these, whenever doing any kind of hold where you're really trying to emphasize the passive part, I also highly recommend trying to relax the face and keep your breathing nice and relaxed. If you're going to go deeper into the stretch, then I recommend doing so on an exhale. You can think that you're always trying to get slightly heavier in a way. You can visualize this whenever you exhale. Right? So, first tactic. So if I'm going to enter a middle split, if I actually want to make it a passive position, then I'm going to have to either use my hands on the floor or on a support to take some weight off so my legs don't have to work to hold me up. Or you can use some kind of support under your legs instead. And this might be nicer for a lot of you people because this will also give me some feedback and I can kind of work with the intention of getting heavy down on this kind of object. So yoga blocks are great for these. I'm just going to show you how to progress using these. So first of all, we could start with the yoga blocks on the tall side. Then I would start placing them at more close to the knees. The further towards my feet the blocks are placed, the earlier or the higher the position they'll be able to support me in. The idea is I'm going to place them at a height where I'm able to relax. So this is not too intense at all, right? And this is also something I can recommend. Start out at a depth that is quite manageable. Then once I get the feeling of, okay, I'm actually able to get quite heavy down on these blocks, they're starting to give a little bit, then I can move them further in towards my hip and see if I can sink down on them here and see if I can also get heavy on them in this position. If I'm able to feel that I'm putting weight into the yoga blocks and they're placed right under my hips, then what I can do is I can move them back towards my knees, but turn them down into a lower position. And then I could repeat the process here, get heavy, see if I can move them closer in under my hips, and then repeat once more with the blocks turned to the very flat side. Right. So this is one tactic that I find a lot of my clients find useful, searching for this feeling of getting heavy into the blocks. This one is also kind of nice to have some soft-ish yoga blocks so you can actually feel that they're starting to give in a little bit once you get heavy on them. Right? The next tactic would be introducing small contractions. Now technically speaking, adding contractions would also mean that the stretch is no longer completely passive. But for our purposes, it's kind of fine. You can put them under one thing. Just know that it's technically not completely the same. This one is very nice to also combine with the blocks, the block support. But now instead of just holding passively, I'm gonna introduce some small contractions. There are generally two kinds I can use. I can think that I'm trying to push my feet into the floor, 5 to 10 seconds. And after 5 to 10 seconds, I'm gonna exhale and relax. And see if I can sink slightly deeper into the position and just get slightly heavier on the blocks. The other kind of contraction is when I'm trying to lift my feet off the floor. This will probably not be possible, but this is the direction we're trying to do the contraction in. So I'm going to try to lift my feet off the floor, contracting my glutes. might feel like you're actually pulling yourself deeper down towards the floor. That's fine. Same idea, 5 to 10 seconds. Exhale and relax. Now, first of all, we can do these contractions more or less intense. If we're using them as part of what we would call or deem mostly passive, then we wouldn't make the contractions too intense. So you can think 60 to 80% be like the maximum, 40 to 80% would be more precise. If we still want to use it as part of passive stretching, where it's mostly passive. You can repeat these contractions as many times as you'd like. Generally, you will, after some rounds of contractions, you'll start to notice that they're no longer affecting the feel of the stretching sensation, or allowing you to go deeper. This generally means that, okay, now you've gotten everything out of this set, you can get out and rest and make ready for the next one.